Hello students, welcome to Brilliant's online edu classes. I am here with the poem A Legend of the Northland of class ninth. A Legend of the Northland, composed by Phoebe Cary. Phoebe Cary was an American poetess. She was born on 4th of September 1824. Phoebe Cary, along with her sister Alice Cary, published many poems in 1849 that were very popular. Phoebe Cary died on 31st of July 1871. A Legend of the Northland is a ballad. A ballad is a poem narrating a short story in small stanzas. Ballads are part of folk culture that are popular and passed on generation to generation. These stories impart moral values. Now, let us see the major highlights of the poem A Legend of the Northland, composed by Phoebe Cary. The poet Phoebe Cary is describing the region in the North Pole where hours of the days are very short and nights are long. So, in the ballad, this area is experiencing winter season. The poet says that the duration of the night time is so long that the people cannot sleep due to intensive cold. The Northland region experiences severe cold conditions. It is a snowy area. The reindeer is an animal which is found in this polar region. People tie the reindeers to the sledges and then the reindeers pull the sledges. The poetess says that the children look like young ones of a bear because they wear funny looking clothes made of fur, which is like the furry skin of a bear. The elders of the Northland region tell a strange and interesting story to the younger generation. The poetess says that she doesn't think that the story is true, but if she tells the story to the reader, maybe the reader could learn a lesson from it. The story gives an important message. The story is about Saint Peter. When Saint Peter used to live in the world and went around giving religious lectures to the people just like all saints do, then an incident happened. When Saint Peter was moving around the world giving religious lectures to the people, he reached the door of a cottage where a small woman was making cakes. She was baking the cakes in the fireplace. As Saint Peter had not eaten anything the entire day, he was very hungry and was feeling weak. So he went to this woman who was baking cakes and he asked for one cake out of the many cakes that she had baked. Actually, the woman was selfish. She did not give even a single cake from her store and instead she started making a very small cake for Saint Peter. She did not want to share her things, and when she put the cake for baking, she looked at it and thought that this cake was too big to be given to someone. The third time, the woman took a very small amount of dough and rolled it. The poetess says that she rolled and rolled to lay emphasis on the fact that she rolled the dough and made it very thin like a wafer and baked it. But she was so greedy that she couldn't give even that thin piece of bread to the saint. The woman reasoned that when she ate the cakes, she felt that they were very small, but if she had to give them to someone, she felt that they were too big to be given away. She put all the cakes on the shelf of her kitchen, and she did not give any cake to Saint Peter. Now, having seen her act, Saint Peter became very angry. Actually, he was very hungry. He was feeling very weak, and the selfish woman was not ready to give him even a small cake. This behavior of the greedy woman angered the saint. Saint Peter cursed the woman and said that she was very selfish. She did not deserve to live like a human being. He added that God had given her food, shelter, fire to keep warm, but she had become selfish for all the resources she had. She did not want to share them with anybody, with those who are in need. St. Peter cursed the woman that hence she would become a bird because she did not deserve the human form. She shall become a bird, and as birds build their houses by boring into the wood and collect very little food by working hard the entire day, similarly, she would also work hard in the dry wood all day and get little food and make a small place for herself to live in. As soon as St. Peter cursed the woman, she did not get a chance to speak for herself because that very moment she flew up to the roof through the chimney of the kitchen and flew out in the form of a bird. St. Peter's curse had converted the woman into a bird. When the woman turned into a bird, at that time she was wearing a red colored cap on her head. This cap was there on the bird's head also, but the woman's remaining clothes had burnt and turned black in color, just like coal. People who live in the countryside, even the small children who go to school, have seen this kind of bird in the woods. They see that the bird stays there all the day and keeps on digging the wood with her beak to collect her food and to make her shelter. Whenever any child sees this kind of bird, his elders tell him this story. She was very greedy, and so she was cursed by St. Peter and turned into a bird. And this way, children get a message that they should not be greedy. So, there is a very important message of the poem. This poem carries the message that we should not be selfish or greedy. The poetess believes that this story may not be true, but it contains certain values and lessons of life, particularly for children, to help the needy. Thank you, children.